Well, we meet again. So we have a program called WinToys. So WinToys is available through the Microsoft Store for Windows 11 Pro. Okay, so it's showing you what I have. Okay. Now, why do you need this program? Well, it has tweak features. You can spotlight images, extract images that appear on your lock screen. You can get into the system and change things. You can change the way ads are, change ads, how the features, privacy, explore, start menu. Some things I can show you, some stuff I can't show you. Um, but I did notice some stuff up here. You can rebuild. This is a problem with Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 7. It's been around since 95, the issue with the icons cache. If you clean out the cache, icons don't appear. I know a lot of you don't have icons on the desktop, and they can get corrupted. That's what this does. Graphic driver, restart. Restarts the graphic if your display has a weird issues like freezing and flickering. Updates recommended. Okay. Clean up. Repair. Storage sense. Turn on, turn off. Automatically cleans up temporary files. I don't think I really need that on. Turn that off. Drive optimization helps your computer run more efficiently. Done. Hibernation. I don't need that. Fast startup allows your computer to open faster and shut down by saving 50% of the boot time. Yeah, that's what this does here. Okay, those are the little tweaks. So basically, it's another way of getting to the system. I've tested some stuff out. Okay, what have we got here? Ultimate Performance Plan allows your computer to consume all the power needed for maximum performance. HAGS, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, offloads high frequency GPU tasks managed by the CPU to a dedicated GPU scheduling processor. Okay, well, that's what it's set to. Virtual based security creates isolated virtual region memory to increase protection from vulnerabilities and malicious exploits. Startup applications. Restartable apps. Automatically save restartable apps and restarts them when you sign back in. Background apps. Allow apps to run in the background. When you run stuff in the background, memory uses a lot of RAM. If you got 16 gig or more RAM, then you can run your little things. But remember, after a while, everything will clog up. I don't care how much RAM you have. Now, those of you who have 32 gig, 64 gig, 128 gig and above, then But the way this operating system works is they really need to scale back and say, should have a system should have built-in virtual memory for a cache system. So when the system recalls the app can explode, run faster. Then when the app shuts down, that memory gets quite clean. It backs up and whatever needs to be backed up to the storage. That's the way it should work. But we all know it don't work like that, and that's why we have problems. Okay, this has activity history, keeps track of apps and services you use, and the files you open and the websites you browse through. Okay, turn that on. Visual settings. That's the user interface here. Recommended for low and oldest hardware. I have that turned on. Leave it on. No, I don't want that one. Gaming settings. Game mode. What game mode? Super fetch. Background recording. Game mode. Super fetch. Index search engine allows to run in the background, provide faster search results. Now, some software says, well, gee, that's going to use up more RAM. Delivery, optimization, Windows updates. We already taken care of that problem. Remember? With bandwidth? Network adapter, onboard processor, offloads the network processing from your CPU to the NIC onboard. So it's an NPU. So you want to unload it from the CPU. So the CPU can function for the other functions. Think of the CPU as your brain. Could you imagine everything is tied up? The GPU has its own processor. Graphics processor has its own processor. So the graphics is supposed to be handled by the graphics processor. The NIC card has supposed to be handled by its own network processor and not the CPU. The CPU takes care of the regular processing. And then you must wonder, gee, then why don't the manufacturers do that? Nobody's thinking about that. I'm not kidding. What is this here? Sign out. Oh, sign out and sign in required? Oh, yeah, really? Well, I have that turned on. We have this turned off. Okay. What's boost? Oh, this is boost. Health. Tweaks. Tweak health. Boost. Services. Apps. Home. So here you basically can control the way your computer can function. Should you download this? I'm gonna let you know this WinTools did crash. I understand the author. I mean, he did try. That's why when you're making apps, and when I used to do apps under Windows and games, I sat there and debugged it as much as I could, hours and hours to fix the code because there's a glitch. But if the operating system has glitches and you're trying to fix the code in the API, which is the application interface, I don't want to get into too much technical issues. There's bugs. Everything's a work in progress. The AI that I help work with on Google, it tells me it's what does it say? It says it's a learning experience or it's a learning process or something like that. I just tell it you're a work in progress. We humans are a work in progress. None of those operating systems, I don't care which version, Apple, Mac OS, Windows, Windows Server, client server, it's client OS, client server, Linux OS, Chrome OS, everything that you see is a work in progress because they have to work it out. If they don't sit there and have dedicated people working there around the clock, working on these different problems, because what problem that you might be having on your computer might be not happening in the lab. So it's going to be different. For years I've seen this, and it's still the same way today. We're in 2023. So our 32-bit for Windows 64, I mean, you have a choice. You have a 32-bit operating system that, even though it's 64-bit operating system, it can still run 32-bit because the CPU inside your computer is 32-bit, 64-bit. Okay? And it's a shame that all these years you're still using that kind of system. I remember it was this 4-bit CPU, 8-bit CPU, 16-bit CPU, 32-bit CPU, then went 64-bit. And we're kind of stuck in that environment. Some graphic cards can go 128, 256, but they're still operating with the bus. If the bus speed is up to 64, but the graphic card can go to 128-bit and 64-bit, 64-bit, 128-bit, and 256-bit. But remember, it's working in the pipeline. So it might have a feeling it's running fast, but it still has to operate within the bottleneck system. I don't care how fast that computer is and how fast the processor or hit a button by accident. You got to understand the restraints. Okay? Same thing with the RAM. The RAM can go faster, right? And this one I got fast RAM, I got heat sink on the RAM. But like I said, you just have to understand what you're buying. Okay? If I had the money today, I'd get myself a 64-bit system, a microcomputer system. I want it new. I don't want nothing old, and I don't want anything from a business. And I understand it's cheaper, but the businesses, you don't know how that business run that computer, that machine. You know how long it's been going. Okay, you might get a couple of years. Oh, you don't know. Get something good. Maybe an Intel. We should go. If you're gonna go Intel all the way. Get a little Intel NUC. Get one of those systems. I know they might be expensive. Get it with what you need now. Put everything in there that you need. If you got a NAS at home, you really don't need to spend so much money on storage. Unless you're going to take that little box with you on the road. But if you're not, Put the money into the NAS. Put extra storage, backup systems, run it like they run a business. That's how you should do your house. So if your computer get hit, you don't have to take down the whole network. You can just blow it out, put a new image, and everything gets restored. That's the way it works. It's simple. That's the way you should run your system. A lot of you don't do it that way. You make it difficult and complicated. Okay. I like my machine running at full power. Okay? Why not? What did you buy it for? What did you buy your system? But did you bought it to run at slow power? If you're on the road, I can understand. But I want full power. You know, I don't care the battery I can get 10 hours out of the laptop battery. That gateway, the touchscreen, the 2-in-1 from Walmart, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. But now I have a 802.11 AC Intel, well, not Intel, it's what's it? I think it's a Realtek in there. Doesn't matter. It's faster than it was. Okay. We're running at full power with all the different settings. I showed you all how to change the settings so you can get full bandwidth. You get full band. You get better TCP/IP. Max connections at 10, not 0. So it's running like it's supposed to. Remember, whatever your modem, your router, the way you got your system, and make sure all that stuff is cooled so everything runs smoothly. Okay, get your little USB fan. If you don't have no USB adapter, get a USB plug it in. Make sure everything is running cool. Those cooling fans, those 6-wave, whatever they are, get them for your modem. Get them for your router. Make sure your system is running cool, man, because that's how it is in the business world. They have it all locked up in a cooling campus closet, open. It's cold in there, okay? Very, very cold. They do that so everything runs smoothly. You don't want nothing overheating. Because if everything is running cool and running correctly, that's just how you like your car. Your electric, well, not electric, well, the gas car and electric cars too, because the batteries have to run cool. They overheat. Okay, so you want to keep the temperature down at a small pace, and you want everything to run correctly. Okay, do you understand? I hope so. Good. So that's how it should work. Shouldn't have no crashes. But so for a crash, that's why you have to run stuff to clean the RAM. Periodically clean the RAM. You should be running yeah, quick CPU. It has a feature to clean the RAM. Clear the RAM. It should do it automatically. Yeah. But it has to clear itself too. So itself is taking up RAM. Chrome, they fixed the Chrome. Because Chrome, every time you open up Chrome's browser, say you had a couple of windows, a couple of channels open, it's a lot of RAM. You need more RAM. 8 gig of RAM, it's going to choke. Okay? 4 gig of RAM, whew, it's going to really choke. So, it's because, 4 gig of RAM is literally 3.85 gig. 8 gig of RAM, it's going to be like around 6, 4, like that. 16 gig of RAM, it's going to be like around 12. It depends. When I had the 32, I had 27 gig of RAM free. So if you got 64-bit, you should have around, because that's more RAM for Windows to use. Now, it depends what you're using the computer for. If you're doing graphic work, intense database, you're running a server, whatever you got going, and you need additional RAM. So a lot of you just play games all let's say a computer dedicated to games, a computer that's dedicated to games doesn't really need a lot of stuff running in the background. So you can tweak it to the max, and you just run it for games. You should have one computer dedicated to games. Have another computer dedicated for your business, your whatever it is that you do. Right. Have more than one computer. Right. If you have the kind of money, you turn your gaming computer. It's just strictly for games. That's it. Nothing else is on it. You don't search the internet. You don't watch movies on there. You have another computer for that. That's the way you should do it. That's why I used to do it. But now today everybody packs everything in on one computer and then they run into problems. Okay. Well, that's about it. It's this. Oh. See this here. See, the system tells me I should turn this off. Middle low configuration might see performance hits. Indexing is active. Some apps, File Explorer and Photos will run slower, not at all without indexing. It's recommended to turn this feature off. Yeah, it is recommended to turn it off because by turning it on, it's going to eat your CPU. If I turn it off, bing, we'll see what happens. This is a good little program because he's showing you all the tweaks that you can do in your system. Okay? And it works. But you might get it might crash on you. Just to let you know. So it's not its fault. It's the way the operating system is. Okay, make sure you have your network onboard processor turned on so you can see this. All right, thanks for watching. Do support the channel. Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to go for 1,000. I know you guys are all here, and girls, and all you significant others, all you here, you're grabbing information. Because a lot of you, that's what you want. You want to know how to fix your computer and how to make it run faster. Home, Pro, Workstation, Enterprise, whatever it is that you're running, Server OS, Linux, whatever it is you're doing, you want to know how to run it better. Here, I'm giving you the information. Now, take it, and all you have to do is subscribe. That's it. All right, fair? Great. I'm out of here.